What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So yesterday I gave away a winner. If you weren't here, you missed out on the winner. So if you don't want to miss out, make sure you subscribe. I give out a lot of free plays. In the last 2 weeks, we're on a 16-2 run on the free picks. So we did have 2 straight losing days, but right before that we had 15-0 run. So today we're on a 16-2. I'm going to give you guys one very strong play in the NBA today. It's a parlay. And if you stick around towards the end, I got a very strong bonus, which I normally don't do, but I'm going to give you guys an extra bonus if you stick around. All right, let me just quickly go over what happened yesterday. We had the under, I believe was 237. And I did say that the line was right around 226. And you can see it actually hit right at 226. But because we bought it back to a 237 or something like that, it ended up hitting pretty easily. The second leg of that parlay was the Kings at a plus 16. What this means, or plus 15.5, I should say. So what this means is that the Kings could have lost as long as they didn't lose by 16. You can see right here, they only lost by 2. And I even said in the video, if you don't believe me, go check that out. But I did say that I highly doubt that the Mavericks were going to even cover the original line of plus 5.5. And they didn't. They only won by 2. So the opening line would have won anyway. So again, that was a pretty easy win overall for both plays, which was a 2-leg parlay. I'm going to hook you guys up with one very strong 2-leg parlay in this video. It's going to be a lot more straightforward, and I'll explain what that means. So just so you know, I don't look at just one thing. I look at a bunch of things, and then I start stacking them. And if everything makes sense, that's when I place the bet. So one of the first things I want to look at is not just the fatigue factor, but it is very important. Washington is on a back-to-back, and they're going against Philly. So Philly has a one-day advantage. And what this means is a rest advantage when I say one-day advantage. Pelicans played Lakers, so they're going against Atlanta. Atlanta has a one-day advantage. Orlando played against Washington, so Brooklyn has a one-day advantage. Memphis played against the Spurs, and they're going against Phoenix, so Phoenix has a one-day advantage. Now on both of these, it says even. Both are on a back-to-back. What that means is that both teams played on a back-to-back, so the fatigue factor doesn't matter here. The only difference is if one team traveled and the other one didn't. So in this case, the Lakers traveled and the Spurs did not. Now, the next thing I like to look at is this line move tool. It's within the Sharp Edge tool. If you want access to this for free, check out the link in the description. You'll get access for 2 weeks for free on this tool. It's called the Sharp Edge. Now, within the Sharp Edge, like I mentioned, it's the line move tool. The very strong indication you want to look at is this number right here. It says the +5 or a +3 or a +3. What this means is that wherever the line is moving, that's where the sports books are adjusting to the sharp money coming in. That's usually the case. Not all the time, but that's usually the case. So in this example, the Pelicans and the Hawks, they started at a 240, and now they're currently at a 245. So it's literally telling you the strong plays to look at the 240. Now, again, this is only one piece of the puzzle. It's not the entire end-all, be-all here. So I'm not going to go through all of these, but check this out. Hawks, they went from 7.5 to a 10.5. Wizards went from a 232 to 235, and so on. Okay. So again, the thing you want to look at is how many points did it move and in what direction. Now you have these for the other sports as well. I'm not going to go into all of these, but as you can see, it does have for the other sports as well. Now, the next tool I like to look at is the Sharp Plays. It's inside the Sharp Edge as well. And you can see I mostly stick to the ones that are very high, so like 8 and 9s. And if you hover over them, it'll tell you how high the confidence is. So these are just AI leans, and they're based on team records, betting trends, and line movement. Okay, so right here, the first one is telling you look at the Spurs at the -8, the Hawks at the -10, the Suns at a -4.5, and so on. I'm not going to go into all of the rest of these, but it gives you the rationale why you should be looking at these plays. Once I start getting a better picture of what the hell I'm going to be doing, and then I go into the dashboard here, and it tells you which games you should be looking at. So, for example, these are the projected scores. So right here, it's a 2-point advantage on the projections. So the Raptors should win by 2. You can see the Pistons should win by 10. The 76ers should win by 16. Celtics should win by 10. Hawks should win by 10. Magic should win by 2. The Knicks should win by 5. The Grizzlies should win by 2. The Thunder should win by, what is this? The Thunder should win by 23. Damn, that's crazy. I did not even notice that till right now. And then we got the Spurs should win by, 8? Warriors should win by 5. And the Rockets should win by 6. Now, again, these are, like I mentioned in the beginning, this is not the end-all, be-all. This is just, I start stacking one thing on top of the other. And if everything starts making sense and everything is pointing in one direction, that's the direction I go in. So out of all of that I just said, I do like 3 games. Like I mentioned, I'm going to give you guys one very strong parlay, and then the other play, I'm going to kind of guide you where I'm going with it. But I cannot give you the line because I threw it out to the VIP already, and I don't want to kind of like diminish the value of VIP. So I will tell you how I'm kind of playing it, but then you guys can decide what you want to do with that one. This one is going to be very strong. Now, like I mentioned, the first play I want to look at here is the Lakers versus the Spurs. This is one of the sharpest signals on the slate today. The line moved. You can see here right away the projection shows that they should win by 8. The line moved, started at a 6, and it's currently at an 8. Even though 70% of the bets and 64% of the money is coming in on the Lakers, the line still moved in the Spurs' favor. You can see the Spurs and the Lakers, both of them are pretty shitty at covering spreads. Now, a very good indication here is that whenever the Lakers played in the last 7 games versus top 10 scoring defenses, they're only hitting at a 14% hit rate. Now, remember what I mentioned, the Lakers did travel, so they played yesterday and they traveled. The Spurs did play yesterday, but they stayed at home. Their records are pretty even over here. And then the big one is the injuries. So the travel and the injuries is going to make a big difference. I already did deeper research here for Devin Vassell, and it says questionable here, but more than likely he's going to be out. So the line is not even more dramatic because Devin Vassell is going to be, more than likely he's going to be out. It's not confirmed yet. It's a game time decision, but more than likely he will not be playing. So that will make a difference on the scoring on the Spurs. So like I mentioned, I already did the research on 20 different sources, and it's telling you it's not expected to play for the Spurs today. He's listed out with a left thigh injury. So even with that injury, I still like the Spurs because, like I mentioned, the line moved. They're going against the public. The fatigue factor on the Lakers traveling, and not only that, but the injuries. So all of that, there's a lot more injuries on the Lakers side than that one main guy on the Spurs. So I really like the first leg of this is going to be the Spurs on the money line. I'm going to give you the second leg to this. And like I said, if you stick around, I'm going to give you a bonus on a separate play that I normally don't throw out there. Before I do that, guys, very quickly, please go to the link in the description, click on free picks if you haven't done so. That way you can get alerted whenever we throw out the free picks. Also give us a chance to check out 1-day pass, 1-week pass, 1-month pass. What I'm going to do here, that's part of the bonus. I'm going to give you that extra play to look at. And then I also want to give you guys a $10 for the entire week. Usually that costs $50, but I'm going to throw it down to $10 for 1 week. So check us out. I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be with a bunch of creators that are all into sports betting. We're going to be in a mansion and a yacht. I'm going to hook you guys up so that we can get this going for you guys for the week. If you guys want access to that 1 week pass for $10, which like I said, normally it's $50, check it out. Send me a text message to this number. Let me know, say, hey, I want access to the $10 a week pass. Just so you know, that's actually cheaper than the day pass. Last few things I'll mention, check out the Discord. We're right around 35 people in there now. And then check out the Sharp Edge. This is the tool that, like I said, you can get 2 weeks for free. And if you want to learn from us, check out the link that says learn from us. All right, next play. I'm going to be honest. This one I'm not too crazy about because the Hawks have been struggling a lot. And they had Trae Young that's been injured back and forth. He's been back and forth. However, the Pelicans are so shitty that I have to kind of go with this because it's a solid play. So currently, I mean, the line opened up at a 7.5 for the Hawks, and now it's currently at a minus 10.5. So the line did shift 3 points. You can also see 58% of the bets, 52% of the money is coming in on the Pelicans, yet the line is shifting in the favor of the Hawks. Now you can also see here the Hawks don't cover the spread too much, 40%. Pelicans hit the spread 30%. However, when they played each other, this goes back to last season, so this is not that strong of a stat, is that whenever they played each other, the Hawks do cover the spread 60% of the time. Now, this is where it gets very interesting. You can see here the Pelicans in their last 21 games on the road are only hitting at a 9%. That means that in the last 21 games, they've only won 2 games on the road. And also, like I said, they're 30% against the spread overall in the last 10, so they don't cover spreads. If you look over here, you can see this guy's questionable, this guy's questionable, this guy's questionable, and Murray is out. So Murray is out with an Achilles injury, and Sadiq Bey is also injured with a hip. So two of the starters are out. It does show here that he's questionable, so he may play, but if he's out, it's going to affect him as well. Now, like I showed you also in the beginning of this, is that the Pelicans played yesterday against the Lakers, and Atlanta does have that one-day rest advantage. Plus, they traveled, and they're missing starters. So the second leg of this is going to be the Atlanta Hawks on the money line. If it's too expensive for you, you might want to do like a -1.5. Let me actually show you the slip of exactly what I'm taking. And here's the slip, guys. Like I said, it's going to be the Spurs and the Hawks on the money line. If you take that on Pinnacle or DraftKings or stuff like that, it's right around the 150 mark. Now, for the bonuses that I promised, thank you so much for sticking around. Please make sure you like, subscribe. Here's one of the bonuses is the points, rebounds, and assists. These are the strongest players that have been hitting their streaks as of recently. These are not final plays. These are just strong streaks. So in this example is Bobby Portis Jr. He actually hit this line 9 straight games in a row. Take a screenshot of this if you want this. I have one more to show you, and then the actual extra bonus that I promised. So here's the shots on goal. Same thing. These guys have been on a hot streak. Take a screenshot of this or come back to it, save the video. And like I mentioned, guys, for the bonus, for the people that stuck around, I do appreciate you guys. Thank you for that. I do appreciate it. So we've been fading the hell out of the Brooklyn Nets on the unders pretty much all season. And today's no different, okay? These guys over here, Orlando, they played yesterday. They're missing their key players, and they traveled. Also, like I mentioned, if we've been fading the Brooklyn Nets on the under, you can see why right here. 13-5 in the last 18 games. So that's hitting at a 72% hit rate on the under whenever they start as underdogs, just like they usually do. The line moved from 2-2-4 to a 2-2-2. And like I mentioned, the Magic played last night against Washington. So now they're on a back-to-back on the road. And they got one of the toughest situations in basketball with the missing players, fatigued, travel, all this extra stuff that I just mentioned. And not only that, but they have one of the worst defenses. So that's going to lead to a very sloppy, slow game. So like I mentioned, guys, I cannot give you that exact line that I'm taking on that one, but I am taking the under. I did buy it up a few points. I gave that away to the VIP very early today, so I appreciate you guys. I'm going to take that under. If you guys want the $10 pass for 1 week, which again is cheaper than the one-day pass just for this week, please send me a text message on that number there. All right, guys, thank you so much. We crossed 3,000 subscribers. Let's get to 4,000. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. Also, by the way, I'm going to introduce my business partner pretty soon. He's already working on creating his own videos, and he's very good on college basketball, college football, and hockey. He does other sports and stuff like that, but for right now, that's what he's focusing on. And then we throw out those plays inside the VIP. So sooner or later, you're going to start seeing some of his videos come through, and maybe collaboration with both of us on the videos. So thank you so much, guys, for getting us over 3,000. We really appreciate it. Have a good day.